Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. I'm excited that you're here with us. I'm really happy to see you again. Every single week, you keep coming back like a stray dog, begging for travel scraps, and I'm here to deliver because I'm a friendly guy. With me, as always, my co-explorer, Amy Long.
Hi.
We're back with a brand new episode, and we're here to talk about Mexico. Mexico is one of our favorite places to go. Yes, because we can get little quick flights there from Vegas and everything. We've been there a number of times now. Mm-hmm. We've also been to different parts of Mexico, and today we're going to discuss two distinct parts. One West Coast, one East Coast, both touristy areas, how they compare, how they contrast to help you make an informed decision about if you're looking at one of these places to go, which one is best for you. These areas that we're going to talk about today, one on the West Coast called Los Cabos, that's Cabo San Lucas, that's San Jose del Cabo, and then the East Coast, more East Coast variety, like the Yucatán Peninsula. You got your Cancun, your Riviera Maya, your Cozumel, Tulum, places like that. So we're going to kind of discuss the similarities and how they are different. So you can, if you want to go to Mexico, who doesn't want to go to Mexico?
Right.
If you've never been, maybe this will help you out.
Right.
So we're going to kick it off really talking about Cabo San Lucas.
Yes.
And this is a place we've been to a few different times. Cabo San Lucas, and correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, they're both very touristy areas. Mm-hmm. Cabo seems almost the most touristy area out of all the areas we're going to discuss.
Yes. I mean, downtown Cancun has a similar feel, but I feel like that side is a little more spread out, so it's easier to get away from, whereas Cabo, it's not a huge area. So it does feel very, very touristy. We've been there once, we flew to Cabo, we stayed, and then we also took a cruise down to Cabo. So that's another aspect of it is cruise ships are coming to port there. People are flooding into this downtown area for an entire day. So there's thousands of people in this small space. It is very, very westernized.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to say that there aren't cruise ships that go to Cancun and places like that, but because of, I guess, like you said, how it's spread out, it doesn't feel as cramped.
Right.
Now, this is saying like you can, and we have rented cars in Mexico to get around and go outside of the touristy areas and do that. But if you, I want to say this, like if you're not a traveler who's looking to like, I'm not looking to like see all of Mexico. I'm looking to go and relax on a vacation. You're probably not going to rent a car, or if you do, it's going to be for like day trips and things, which there are day trips to be had on either side, that we're talking about here. But if we're just talking about these main city areas, Cabo is very touristy.
Yes.
And you have to understand that going in, these are tourist stops, cruise ships and everything, just like you said. So you have to have thick skin.
Yes.
And you have to have the ability to just say no and say no politely. Now, these are people that are just like you and I. They are trying to make a living to feed their families. But, it can be a little aggressive.
Yes.
They're trying to make sales. And you can haggle just a little bit with them if you do find something that you want. And that's all well and good. Just keep it, easy, man. Keep it, you don't want to get into shouting matches. You don't want to get into all of this stuff. And you don't want to be rude to people that are really,
They're just doing their job.
They're just doing their job.
Which their job starts in the airport. So if you are flying into, and this is a similarity in the Cabo airport and the Cancun airport. Yeah. If you are flying in, be prepared to be swarmed by people trying to sell you dinner cruises, excursions, come stay at this resort, come use this ground transportation. It is truly a madhouse. We were warned, but until you see it, you cannot really fathom all the people waving pamphlets in your face. Just set your gaze straight and keep walking. Just walk through the madness till you get to actual ground transportation pickup. Hopefully you have already, as we did, prepared your ground transportation so you're not having to deal with these people to get you to wherever you need to go.
Some commonly asked questions, of course, like, do they have Uber down there? Yes, they have Uber. they do have ground rules. Like Ubers aren't allowed to pick you up from the airport. They have, I guess, some kind of deal with the taxi services down there. And it's all really a set price. And I think out of the San Jose del Cabo airport, it was like $80.
It was.
To bring you to any of the resorts along the coastline there. And we're only going to talk about a couple of specific resorts because there's a ton.
Right.
It is totally resort city down there. You can find good deals all year round. So just do a little bit of shopping. But we'll tell you where we stayed in Cabo. One of the things, the shopping there, you know, and is there bad crime? And it's just like any other city in the United States, anywhere else. Yeah, you hear bad things, but of course, if you're in the United States, you're going to hear bad things happening in cities. Just don't walk down the dark alleys and go off with the sketchy people. And another one is, do they have clean water? Can you drink the water? Yeah, you can. You know, no, I don't recommend drinking out of a ditch. And if it looks questionable, it probably is questionable, but
you can have ice in your Coke. You can get a glass of water at a restaurant. It is perfectly safe now.
It's fine. It's fine. And someone's going to get sick. And they're like, I heard. Sorry in advance. But the marina kind of is the heart of Cabo San Lucas. That's where the cruise ships go. It's where a lot of the shopping and dining options are. And there are a ton. There's just way too many to mention. I did have an incident. You got to watch out for the iguana guy.
Yes.
You got to watch out for this guy. It's the same guy, or there might be 2 or 3 of them. They have all these iguanas all over them.
Which are really cool to see. And you walk up and you see this guy with iguanas on his shoulders, on his hat, and you're like, oh, look, can I see this? Can I take your picture?
And he comes and he sets an iguana on me. Like, I didn't ask him. He just sets it on me. I'm like, oh, look at that. I turn around, Amy snaps a photo, and then this guy wants like $20 for me to snap a photo. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't ask for this.
He literally just walked up to you and just stuck an iguana on your shoulder.
Every instinct said, take the iguana and throw the iguana at him. But I didn't. We did pay him a couple of bucks, but you just have to watch stuff like that. Yes. It's just like coming to Vegas. People try to hand you CDs of their music. You say no.
Don't take it.
Don't take anything in your hands. If you don't want it, just politely ask them, hey, get it off my shoulder or whatever. And I never thought I'd have to say, get your iguana off my shoulder. But there
were iguanas everywhere. Even when we were at our resort and we were in the pool overlooking the beach, beautiful. You were right there on the edge looking at the water, and I was behind you, and this giant iguana just starts walking across kind of the brick edging of the pool. I sort of had a freak out because I'd never seen an iguana that big before.
And we did stay, one of the places we will mention, right on the outside of town. It's in what they call the tourist corridor, the resort corridor. It's operated by Sheraton. It's a Sheraton Grand. It's the Hacienda del Mar.
Lovely.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's done in the old, kind of old Mexico style, but it has all the amenities. They do have all-inclusive packages. But there are a ton of resorts right there. But if you want to check out the one we stayed at, and we absolutely love, it's the Hacienda del Mar.
Beautiful.
And, a note about the beaches. The beaches are, kind of not exactly white sand beaches, but they are sand beaches. You can't swim in most places.
Right.
The undercurrents and stuff are too strong where the ocean meets the sea right there, the Sea of Cortez.
It was very rough, and they had all the red flags out.
Yeah.
Well, daily they changed the flags based on if you can get in the water or not, that whole system. But it was red flags every day we were there. Yeah. We did get some beautiful shots of waves crashing on the beach and on the rocks, and just lovely photos, but you can't really get into the water. Down by the marina, you could actually get in the water. It was a little bit calmer when we went into the city.
One little area. There are a few like public beaches, although a lot of the beaches are being gobbled up by a lot of these resorts. Yeah. So you go down there, find some public beaches. They have different ones like Lover's Beach or Divorce Beach. And Divorce Beach, that's a real thing.
And then there's the one that's right there by the arch. So we couldn't actually see the arch from the beach. The world
famous arch.
But people were getting on the little boats and going out around the little peninsula to the arch.
When we come back, we're going to discuss San Jose del Cabo and the Yucatán Peninsula, right? Yeah, of course we are. Giving you some informed decisions. Keep it right here. It's Unscaled Travel Show.
Hey travelers, it's Amy with the Full Metal Traveler, and you're listening to the Unscaled Travel Show. For all of our past episodes and guest interviews, you can find us at fullmetaltraveler.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We're so happy to be talking with you about some places in Mexico. They're very popular places, Los Cabos, and of course the Riviera Maya, Cancun, Cozumel. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of differences, and we're kind of walking through some of these things. One is good for beaches. Yeah. I would say that is probably your Riviera Maya. Go on the beach, get in the water and everything. The undercurrent's a little too strong in Los Cabos, so there's a lot of places where you can go to the beach, but you can't really get in the water or do it your own risk.
Right.
All the places are very touristy. They're very resort heavy. So you got to have a thick skin. You got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. And so we're just kind of walking through that. So we're so glad you joined us. So we're moving up the coast a little bit. We were talking about Los Cabos, or Cabo San Lucas, I should say. Now we go up about 40 minutes up Highway 1 in Mexico is San Jose del Cabo. This is what forms Los Cabos, right, if you don't know. San Jose del Cabo has a totally different vibe, a totally different energy than Cabo San Lucas.
Absolutely. It, to me, is more of what I expected on our first trip to Mexico, of what a Mexican city would feel like, where I was surprised the first time I went to Cabo by how westernized it was, how there's a huge mall on the marina and there's all these franchised restaurants and things. And yes, they do have that in San Jose del Cabo, but it's more right there on the water. And then once you move a little bit away from that, a few blocks in, it just is a very different feel. It's more laid back. It's more casual. It is more of that just like Mexican feel.
Yeah. And again, we're talking about like, if you're trying to just have a vacation, you're not necessarily looking to rent a car and drive further into the country or get away from a little bit of the I don't know, I hate the phrase hustle and bustle, but to get away from the hustle and bustle of that kind of stuff. So going up to San Jose del Cabo, yes, they do have Uber. You can take an Uber. It was about $20 from
one city to the next.
I mean, for a 35-minute drive, that's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Pretty cheap, man. And they brought us right down to basically their downtown. It's where a lot of mom and pop shops are. You just walk around, look in the shops, do all that. It's a lot of fun. It's all kind of circled around this area called the Plaza Mijares.
You said that very well, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Because I don't. I took 6 years of Spanish, and I am horrible at Spanish. I think I'm worse at Spanish now than before I took 6 years of Spanish.
You're much better than me, though.
Oh, my gosh, man. My Spanish teacher from back in the day, she would be so disappointed in me. Well, it's just one of those things. Like, it's like if you don't use your language skills, they do go away. So if you're taking a language or you want to take a language, use it.
Right.
So
anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so there's a ton of shops. I mean,
yes.
How many different places did we walk into? Just
oh my gosh.
Variety of things.
It's so, as you were saying, there's this plaza and then there's all these smaller streets coming off the plaza, and they're just lined with shops.
Yeah. And restaurants.
Yeah, and restaurants, but a ton of shops. Some of them were more souvenir shops, but a lot of them were actually like art shops. They were selling like handmade art for the walls, things like dining ware, glasses, and you see those blown glass hearts everywhere. That's a big thing there. So a lot of the shops were selling those. But we walked into so many different shops just looking at the really cool stuff, and that's where I actually got.
There were shops within shops?
Yeah. Or we went into a courtyard, and then there were shops all the way around the courtyard, and that's where I got that beautiful bowl sitting on the counter behind you.
Her bowl. She's going to tell everybody about her bowl. Tell everybody about your bowl.
Well, you said I overpaid for this bowl. And maybe I
thought
did.
You did.
But I did bargain a little bit with the lady, and she came down some on the price. And I was happy with the price I paid for it. I didn't feel like I got ripped off.
As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
I love the bowl, and we use it. It's all that matters.
We use it. We do. We use it, but, whatever. I digress. But down in this downtown area, also in this city, I mean, if you are a craft brew person,
yes,
or a tequila or a mezcal, there are a ton of distilleries. There are a ton of breweries in San Jose del Cabo. One we found that we really love and follow and wish they carried more of their beer here stateside is the Baja Brewing Company.
We liked it so much that when we went back to Cabo for
a couple
years later on a cruise, we just bypassed Cabo, got in an Uber, and went straight to Baja Brewing for drinks and lunch.
I think we opened up the shop
we did.
One time.
We were one of the first ones in there.
It was like 10 in the morning, and we're like, line them up. We're drinking.
It was so good, though.
It was so much fun. And like in the spring and fall seasons, like in the evening, they do an art walk. That's how much art stuff is like around and how much they encourage it. You'll see the streets are beautifully lined with like lights in the evening time, and you know, the little confetti things.
Flags.
Yeah, the flags.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you picture. It is very picturesque.
It is, and there's wall murals all over the place. So we
yeah.
just walked up and down the streets taking pictures of the art. Just lovely. Again, it's what I envisioned when I thought we're going to Mexico.
Yeah.
This was what I thought we would see. And then there was that lovely cathedral chapel right there at the plaza. And that's where the big sign is, because, you know, every major city now has the giant letters with their name, so you can get a picture.
Yeah, right in front of the Mission San Jose del Cabo, which is a mission. It was one of the first missions built on the peninsula. It dates back to I want to say like the 15 or 1600s. I mean, it's old. It's part of the first history of, you know, Europeans and Spanish conquistadors and stuff like that mixing with the natives that were already there in the land. So it's a lot of history. And then out front, you have this big sign that says San Jose del Cabo that everyone's taking a picture at. So you kind of got this weird mix. But any direction you go, again, as long as you're safe, as long as you keep your head about it, don't walk down anywhere you don't feel safe.
Right.
But there was like a good presence of police and everything, so we never felt like, you know, that's a legitimate concern for a lot of people.
I felt totally safe there. But again, we didn't go off outside of what is still considered a tourist area. So there was really nothing to be concerned about. There were other walking tours happening around us. So if you're into history, you could do that. Or they had the art walking tours, things like that. So a lot of people milling about, walking around. A lot of people in that plaza area, kids playing. It just felt like a really nice spring day out there. And that's where that giant Mexico flag is too, is in that plaza.
Right in that plaza. It's a humongous flag, you know, great for pictures and stuff. Capturing the moment. So between the two, Cabo San Lucas and San Jose del Cabo, real quick, which one would you choose?
My favorite is San Jose.
Same here. It's a totally different vibe. Cabo San Lucas is more like nightclubs. They have a ton of nightclubs and stuff like that. Younger people would enjoy. I say that because I'm definitely old. But San Jose has a great art scene, great craft brew scene, lots of fun.
Yeah.
So that's just my pick between the two. I don't know. You'll have to make your own decision, do your own little bit of research. When we come back, we're going to switch things up. We're going to talk about the other side of Mexico, the eastern side, the Riviera Maya, Yucatán Peninsula, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. Keep it right here.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. We are coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Our friends Trent and Lisa Keenan at Diamondback Land Surveying. We appreciate all your support. And, you know, we're talking about Mexico. I love Mexico. I really do. It's been like a year since we've gone, and we need to go back. In fact, I think you are going back soon.
I am going back. I was actually just there in August for work, and I am going back next month for work. I'm lucky enough to have a job that I travel for, and Cancun is one of those places that we travel to somewhat regularly.
You're getting me back for Australia.
I am. Okay. I am. I hope you're jealous.
I am a little bit, especially because, I mean, it's not necessarily wintry and gloom anytime in Las Vegas, but to go somewhere warmer and, you know, sandy beaches and stuff, I'm a little bit jealous any time of the year.
Well, January, February is like peak season for the Yucatán Peninsula. So that's just something to note. If you're going there during that time, expect that you may need to make your plans early so that you can get into the resort or the hotel you want. Restaurants are probably going to be a little bit busier. Beaches are going to be a little bit more crowded because everybody's trying to beat the cold in those more northern areas. So a lot of people down in Mexico in January and February.
And of course, you've been to Cancun way more than I have. You have a lot more experience. Tell me a little bit more about the vibe of actual Cancun proper, the city.
So Cancun itself is very touristy. It is, when you think of like spring break, college kids going to the beach, that's very much Cancun. There are some resorts that are a little bit farther away and they're a little more laid back. But if you get into the actual city, a lot of nightclubs. One of the most popular ones is, I think, Coco Bongo, something like that.
Coco Bongo.
I think that's what it's called. Everybody talks about it. I haven't been, but pretty much everyone I know that's been to Cancun has been to this place. Just one of these over-the-top nightclubs that people go to.
I will trust you.
One of the last times I went, my hotel was actually like right across the street from it, and the hotel room had shutters on the inside to block out the flashing lights, but you could still see the flashing lights coming in around the shutters. So just keep in mind, if you're going to be in that main area of the city, it may be loud. It may be bright in the middle of the night. It's not necessarily the relaxing vacation you're looking for.
Yeah. It's, again, a totally different vibe.
Right.
As compared to like San Jose del Cabo or Cabo San Lucas that we talked about, more in line with Cabo San Lucas, I think.
Like if you want a nightlife beach vibe, Cancun is awesome for you.
Yeah.
That was just not what I was there for work, so that was one thing.
Is it true that they have an island dedicated to women?
Well,
just women everywhere on this island? What is this place?
It's called the Island of Women, but I don't know if I don't think it's only for women, because you can get on a ferry or a boat several places in Cancun and be taken over there. It's only about 8 miles off the shore.
How do you find it? Do you just listen for the squawks? And show's been canceled.
Yeah, you're going to get us in trouble.
What is it? Isla Mejores?
Again, I don't speak Spanish. I can't say it.
Again,
I just know
I apologize to my Spanish teacher.
It's called the Island of Women. And
you got to cross the Bay of Women to get to it.
Yes. A lot of people that do, though, take day trips out there. I know a bunch of people who have gone. It's a very touristy type area once you get over there. I don't know if they actually have hotels on the island, but most people just go for like a day excursion. And
you're talking, back. I mean, white sand beaches.
Yes.
And this is where you can like snorkel and see turtles and do all of this stuff. So it's a very popular location. I think they've kept it pretty low key as far as not allowing a ton of resorts or whatever.
Well, and even saying that, in Cancun itself, one of the hotels where I was just at, several of the hotels on that little part of Cancun, they are part of the helping to the turtle population. When they come on shore and they lay their eggs, these hotels have these big sectioned off areas that are netted where these turtles can come in and lay their eggs, and then the hotel kind of keeps an eye on it to make sure people don't destroy the eggs. And so when I was just there, they were showing us the area and telling us all about it. And it's just a really cool thing. You assume a resort isn't going to care about something like that, but several of them do have these areas, and it was just really neat to see.
That's really cool. Moving outside of Cancun, the further out you get, I mean, obviously this was at home a strong point for, at one point, a stronghold, let me re-say that, for the Mayan people.
Yes.
So there are many, many spots with Mayan ruins. The most famous is, of course, the world wonder Chichen Itza. That is a couple hours outside of the city. you either find a tour group or you can rent a vehicle or something like that to get to it, but I highly recommend it.
Right. And then if you're going down the coast, you also have the option to go to the Tulum ruins, which is where you and I went the last time we were there. And I didn't really know anything about the Tulum ruins, but it was really cool, other than the fact it was so hot and there's not a lot of shade. So you'll want to bring, again, an umbrella for shade.
Yeah, if it's in the warm months, you're going to want to bring something, because we were dying and there's no place to get water or anything like that, unless you visit the little outlying city area that you park at and all of those things. That's just I'm an hour away from Playa del Carmen.
Yeah.
Playa del Carmen.
So we rented a car in Playa del Carmen and drove down. We didn't know what to expect when we got there. So when you get to, because there's signs telling you the ruins are coming up, you're going to turn left, whatever. And then you get to this area and traffic is pretty much stopped and there's people directing you to pull down on the street. And then do you just remember the chaos, all the people waving at us?
It was so chaotic that I think I parked on a sidewalk because I didn't know where. Once you get there, and you kind of have to have your head about you in the right way, because it is not people trying to direct you the proper place to park. Mm-hmm. It is a bunch of vendors trying to get you to park in their lot so they can collect money from you. And I was so confused. I ended up parking on a sidewalk and had people yelling at me because I was parking on a sidewalk, but I didn't know where to go.
Because there's not signs.
There's no signage. There's just people in the street screaming at your car, which sounds chaotic, which you just kind of have to push through to get to like the Tulum ruins. I wish the government would step in and modify some of this, because how many people have been hurt in this situation, because there's cars flying around everywhere. There's people on the road. That is my only complaint. The rest of the time was beautiful and fun. That was the only time I was ever a little miffed while we were in Mexico. I was kind of upset.
Yeah, because we didn't know what was going on. And all these people are flagging you down and waving this direction, and they're yelling out parking in English. So you think it's like the official parking, but it's not. It's like somebody's house and they're letting you park around their house. And then they're like, oh, it's $20 to park here. And you're like, there's no signage. There's nothing. We don't even know. But there was an official parking area. Once we started walking down the street, there was an official parking area. There was actually that whole like shopping area with restaurants too on the side, and you can get a tram and it would take you down to the ruins.
For $1 each way, you can hop on this tram, which it's about a half mile to 3/4 mile walk from the little parking area to the actual Tulum ruins gates. Mm-hmm. So, on hot days, pay the $1.
Oh, right.
Pay the $1, get on the tram. You don't want to do that.
We walked down there and then we got on the tram to come back because we were done.
Yeah. It was so hot.
It was super hot.
And like I said, there's no place inside there to like get water. Obviously, you're at the ruins, you know, but the ruins are on the beach. It's beautiful. It's immaculate.
It's gorgeous.
It is just one of, I kept telling you, kept going, oh my God, this is one of my favorite places, because I'm a history nerd, but it is just beautiful and it's on the beach, and you can see why the Mayans set up shop there, years ago and everything. So
it was really neat though, because I thought we would actually be able to like walk right up to the ruins, but most of them are kind of stanchioned off because obviously they don't want people destroying them. But there were a few you could get really close to, and so we have some really neat pictures that they still pop up on my phone all the time. I
want to go back. I do. So we're continuing to talk about Mexico. We're talking about the Yucatán Peninsula, Riviera Maya right now. We're going to have more when we come back. It's Unscaled Travel Show.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada at the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios with my co-host, co-explorer, Amy Long.
Hi.
We're talking about Mexico, some favorite touristy places, Los Cabos versus the Yucatán Peninsula, Riviera Maya area, the differences, the similarities, hopefully to give you an informed decision.
Right. Help you decide.
Help you do that.
If you're trying to choose between one or the other, hopefully this will help you. If you've been to one and you're curious about the other, maybe this will, answer some questions for you.
Are you trying to party and have iguanas on your head at 3 a.m.? Or are you looking for a more laid back, stroll along the cobbled streets and all of that stuff?
Or if you're just looking for a lay on the beach vacation, this next place I feel like is the place to do it.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Riviera Maya, which is on the coastline there of the Yucatán Peninsula. It's by you'll know cities like Playa del Carmen, and it's in between Playa del Carmen and Cancun.
Right.
Along that stretch, Resort Row. There's tons of all inclusive. There are some adults only resorts. There's a lot of stuff, but you have been there several times, including without me for work.
Right.
Then you've stayed at a few of them. Tell us about the first place we stayed at together, the Grand Velas.
Grand Velas, yes. This property, gorgeous. I cannot say enough great things about this property. It is all inclusive, and I know a lot of people kind of get a little bit of a not great vibe about all inclusive. You're thinking kind of like, okay, it's going to be a lot of mediocre food and a lot of watered down alcohol.
Sure.
But this is different.
Oh yeah.
This is luxury all inclusive.
1,000% luxury.
So saying that,
this place was so nice. I remember my first day there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to touch anything. I was like, this is way too nice for me to be at. Go ahead.
Yes. Saying that, this property, it is a little more costly than what you would typically associate with an all-inclusive. But the thing that's great about this one is they have 3 different buildings, which they call ambiances, and each one is a little bit different, and the costs are a little bit different. So you have the one that's called the Zen, and it's more in the jungle, because people may not realize, but this area of Mexico is very jungly, and then it just opens up on a beach. So a lot of these hotels may have a little bit of beachfront rooms, but a lot of them will be encased in jungle, and there are jungle animals.
Monkeys. I
other
saw several monkeys.
I have a picture of something. I don't know what I can't say the name of it. It's in the raccoon family. It was on a balcony.
Okay.
So
was it watching you change?
It was not watching me. It was watching someone else, and they took a picture of it and sent it to me. So the first time I was there at Grand Velas, I did stay in the Zen property, which is the property that is surrounded by jungle, but that has the Zen pool. And that's the pool that you and I stayed. We were in that whole last day we were there.
Gotcha. Beautiful property. Grand Velas, as a brand, has several all-inclusive properties in Mexico, including Cabo, I believe, and a number of places in Mexico. You also stayed next door at the Fairmont.
I did. So right next to this property is another property that the whole area is called Mayacoba, and then it has like 5 or 6 different resorts on it. So I stayed at the Fairmont Mayacoba, which is very similar in that it has multiple buildings. Most of them are in more of the jungle area, and it has sort of a water river running through it. So a lot of the properties are on that water.
Was Brad Pitt there?
I did not see him. I did not see him.
See, no. I made that.
I'm proud of you.
Okay.
Good job.
All right, I'm going back over here.
Both of these properties do actually have ocean-facing rooms too. They are a little more expensive. Fairmont Mayacoba was not all-inclusive from what I recall. So a little bit different experience, property. But lovely property.
So after our stay at the Grand Velas, we decided we wanted to move over to the island. We wanted to move over to Cozumel. And to do that, you got to go to Playa del Carmen, and you have to hop on this wonderful ferry. It's not a ferry like you would think. It's like a speedboat. It's like a double-decker speedboat, which is awesome. Number one,
fast ferry.
But also if you get seasick and it's a choppy day, they don't give a crap.
Well, do you remember? So there's indoor and outdoor seating. We chose to sit indoor both times, but people could sit on the front of the boat outside. And the first day, about halfway there, it just started pouring. And everybody came like running inside, soaking wet with their luggage.
It's a heck of an experience. Yes, it costs a few bucks to go either one way or to buy. If you know you're going to come back at a certain time, you can buy a round trip ticket for a couple extra dollars, a little bit cheaper that way. But once we get to actual Cozumel, let's break this down. We have a couple of minutes left, but we stayed at, there are a few resorts on the actual island. It's more like they treat it like a day island.
Right.
Like you're just going to go there for a day, do some shopping and eating and come back, because most of the island is actual like a nature preserve.
Right. I didn't realize that. And where we ended up staying was a little bit farther away from the main area of town. And across the street was all jungle because it is a wilderness.
It was wild. Yeah. Like, going out the front door, remember, it just faced the jungle.
Yeah.
And it was just pitch black at night. Just like nothing out there.
No lights, nothing.
Nothing out there.
But something about Cozumel we didn't know, and maybe we should have, but it's a reef island. So it is not great if you're wanting to lay on the beach and get in the water. Our hotel was considered beachfront, but it just had a little stretch of sand that was very, very rocky. Mm-hmm. And we both kind of tenderly stepped around rocks to get into the water.
I have very tender feet. I have very tender feet. And it was a nightmare from my little poor feet. And it almost looks like it was at one time like a boat launch.
Yeah.
That they were just like, hey, this is going to be our beach now. Let's truck in some sand and call it a beach. But it's it's a reef island. So the ground is very hard underneath. It's rocks, or petrified reef or whatever, however they scientifically explain it. But what I would recommend is renting a car and driving around the island where you can, on like the south side of the island or the back side, however you look at it. There are a number of places that are open for business all year round, and it is mojitos and sunshine and partying and all of that stuff, if you like that stuff. And there's also other Mayan ruins. There's places to explore in the jungle.
We did try to get to a ruin, and we were just on our own in our car.
The mistake we made was that we rented a little bitty vehicle because it was like, paved streets, right? In the city, it's paved streets, and we thought saving on gas and everything. Get you a 4x4, get you a Jeep. If they don't have them, just wait.
Or go with an excursion company.
Go with an excursion company or something like that. We headed out in a downpour. Yes. And it actually wasn't as bad of a storm as we've ever been there. We lived on the Texas Gulf Coast. We've been in some really bad thunderstorms. This seemed like an everyday storm. The city of Cozumel is not built for rainstorms. And when I tell you every street in this city was flooded, every street in this city was flooded. To
the point that we had to just stop and back up because we couldn't go any farther. We couldn't turn around.
We had to take some back streets to an empty parking lot that we found.
Remember the attendants felt so bad for us that they didn't even charge us to park there?
Because as usual, we didn't have umbrellas with us, which if you read our show description, you can see we always forget our umbrellas. We didn't have umbrellas. They felt horrible for us. I know. The guy just looked at me and he was like, you can just leave the car.
Because not only do the streets flood, the parking lot floods. We ran through like 6 inches of water.
At least. We found a Pizza Hut. And God bless the lovely people at the Cozumel Pizza Hut for letting us sit in a booth drenched. We just ordered some food.
Yeah.
We were like,
fine. We weren't even hungry. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
We just sat there watching this river of water just go down the streets.
Such a good day.
And they just kept checking on it. They were so nice. And that's what you'll find there in Cozumel. The people are so friendly.
They were.
It's so nice. When it actually cleared up and we got to go around the island a little bit, we did kind of get turned back because of the car just wasn't going to make it.
No. There were a few places that we wanted to go and that we realized we had made a poor choice in rental vehicles. So if you're an explorer, keep that in mind when you're renting your car, that you need an explorer type vehicle to do that. But a couple of places.
Good.
The Key Lime Pie Factory.
The Key Lime Pie Factory is a little restaurant that's right up the street. We stayed at the Westin Cozumel. It's right across the street from the Westin Cozumel. That's also where you're going to find the original Lobster House, which is one of the best places to eat on the island.
Which was really cool because it's kind of all outdoors, and they had live pelicans and all kinds of other wildlife just sort of in there, and there's just tables around this little water thing.
Pelicans, ducks.
It was a very unique experience.
We loved it. So we hope we gave you a lot of information about where to stay, depending on what kind of vacation that you want or stay that you want. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We will see you guys next time, right? Of course.